Okay, all right, continuing with troubles that are unique to marriage. Number 7 is disrespecting boundaries. Disrespecting boundaries. Married couples must remain distinct individuals who appreciate and support each other's talents and abilities. Nobody wants to be controlled or likes to be told what to do, how to dress, or where to spend their money. Marriage, excuse me, marriage is a bond between two people who want to make life better for each other. That's a good point there. Or at least that's what it should be, right? Marriage is a bond between two people who want to make life better for each other. So you want to benefit that other person. There's joy in doing that. And then, where it's reciprocated. If you overstep your partner's boundaries, it can erode the trust that your union is based on. Offer one another the space and freedom to express yourselves individually without judgment. Tip: if you feel like you're losing yourself in your marriage, now a lot of ladies seem to feel this, and men do too. Like we mentioned about, it's common where you have ladies may complain a lot, and so they always seem to be dissatisfied with their husband, and he's jumping through hoops, trying to keep peace, and so if you make too many compromises, you can feel like you're losing yourself, and then again, like some ladies who are listening to feminism, and or believe that they're independent, which has no place in marriage. They can believe that they're losing themselves because they aren't independent. They're deceived to believe they should be doing everything themselves. Superwoman. Okay. So they feel like they're losing themselves, which is a deception. Okay. Marriage is a relationship of dependency, not independent. Independency, if that's a word. All right. If you feel like you're losing yourself, that's a red flag. Find ways to carve out your own time and space to be you, and be sure to communicate. And that's what I was going to say. Yeah, you may do that, but be sure to communicate healthy relationship boundaries clearly with your partner. It's not a thing where you should be suddenly, just switching off the putting input into your marriage or working on it. You switch off and just begin to focus on yourself. Just like we heard Tia Mowry when she was on the interview, they asked her, well, what was the turning point, that made you decide to leave? And she says that she began to focus on herself. Okay, just like that article I read also, or referenced with Tracy Ellis Ross, who give a list of things that must be present in a man, otherwise she's not going to get married. But one of the things she prioritizes is self-love. There's no place in marriage. Okay, no place in marriage. You're not marriage material if you prioritize self-love. We putting yourself ahead. Okay, stress. Stress is common in adult life. Amen to that. Stress from relationships, professional responsibilities, parenting, and financial worries can all interfere with how you connect with your partner. It can drastically change your relationship, and typically for the worst. For the worse. Learning to manage stress in healthy and productive ways can help you learn to navigate the stressful times you'll inevitably face during your marriage. There it is again. See, these are things that are unavoidable. That's why the Bible is just saying, well, if you get married, you haven't sinned, and if a virgin marries, she hasn't sinned, but such individuals will have trouble in this life, and I'm seeking to spare you. Right? Sorry, I keep losing my place. Okay, tip. Stress management is something you can apply to all areas of your life, not just your marriage. Finding ways to decompress and not let stress get the best of you will greatly improve your marriage. Journaling, working out, doing yoga, which I don't endorse, being creative, reading, and getting outdoors for a walk, all can be effective ways to manage stress. Finding things you can do with your partner is an added bonus. All right, differing values. This is another trouble that is unique to marriage that may be unavoidable. Even if you share the same religious convictions, there'll still be nuances of things that you differ on. You see? There'll be things that you don't have a problem with doing, but even though you believe the same way, but she may have a problem with it. You see? All right, major disagreements about religion, politics, child rearing, right. Think about children, right? The way you discipline your children, all these things. You know, you will deal with your mate and not know that they were going to discipline the child that way, or that you were going to discipline the child that way, and it may just be a difference in that, and that can cause a lot of problem, of course. Serious disruptions in a marital union. Okay, we all grow up differently with unique morals, values, beliefs, and goals. But if markedly different views are coming between you and your spouse, it'll require effective communication and understanding to work through things and maintain the marriage. That's why it's so important when you're courting to really talk a lot. Try to really open up about who you are and your views, as much as possible. But but after you get married, you're still going to learn things. So, but just try to be open and honest as possible, so it won't be like some just really major shocks. Okay, but there will be things that you don't, that you never thought about that comes up. Just like, let's say you have your wife may be colder than you at night. She has to have the heat up. And you don't, or vice versa. That's something that you have to work out. But if you weren't married, you don't have to deal with that. All right, okay, I think I read that. I'm sorry, I keep losing my tip. Large rifts in values may be difficult to overcome. That's true. But it's worth an honest conversation before any drastic decisions are made. Learning more about where values came from can be a step in the right direction. Therapy can be valuable in navigating difficult conversations and trying to find common ground when it comes to values. A neutral party can ensure discussions are productive and respectful. All right, number 10, money problems. Money problems. Oh boy, that's one of the main ones, right? Money problems. There's a saying that money doesn't solve money problems. I never heard that saying. There's a saying that money doesn't solve money problems. Oh, that's the first time I ever heard that. Even for couples who have enough of it, money arguments seem to be inevitable from time to time in any relationship. That's another trouble. You might have a good wife, but y'all just don't agree on certain money issues. You see? Your partner may want to spend money when you want to save it. You may have different ideas about how to invest. Like most things in a marriage, communication is the key to victory here. Make it a point to routinely sit down and discuss finances, future goals, and other relevant factors that determine how you spend your money as a married couple. Tip: try a monthly financial date with your partner. Sit down and review the month's spending and discuss how the money will be spent in the future. Finances are something that needs to be tended to regularly. Make this habit one that you share with your spouse so you both feel like financial decisions are made together. Right. You're one. You're one. All right, so act as one. Throw away the stupidity of this idea of being independent. Okay, most men, I don't think any man, well, I can't say any man, but thinks about that he's independent. He's deceived that he's independent in a relationship. It's ridiculous, okay? Trauma or grief. 11, trauma or grief. Experiencing traumatic events or situations can take a toll on any relationship or marriage. Right. You may lose a loved one. What if you lose a child? Sometimes that can put a rift in your relationship. Because they can be life-changing. Trauma and grief can challenge even healthy, strong marriages. All right. Remember that grief is different for everybody. How you're grieving may not be how your partner is processing things. Give each other space, compassion, and time, and don't be afraid to seek help. Grief therapy can be effective in dealing with loss. None of us knows how to naturally navigate trauma. Professional help can be instrumental in recovering, both personally and in your relationship. And finally, 12. Now, this social media Now, you know the video that I made that I said that making red pill content, a married man making red pill content, for him, it could be risky. All right. Because you may be identifying, or you think about all the things we just reviewed, and your wife may have an emotional response to things that she hears that you're discussing. You see, which you certain things. If you have a big channel and you're constantly talking with males and females, you're constantly communicating. There are going to be things that you communicate and views that you share with these people that you haven't shared with your wife. Okay, so it can make her feel excluded, jealous. You know, especially if you have a podcast where you have beautiful women coming over your house. That's crazy, in my opinion. But we see this going on. So think about it. With all the troubles that are unique to marriage, which are unavoidable, why compound trouble by doing stupid things? You see, you want to stay away from things like inviting women over your house and the social media thing, where people get overboard, they share too much. All right, so let me go ahead and read this now, because they'll be able to say things better than me. We live in interesting times where reconnecting with people from our past is as simple as logging onto a social media platform and typing in a name that is potentially troublesome. Okay, you're reconnecting with people, and even people, maybe somebody you had a crush on, or maybe somebody you didn't have a crush on, but you had a good relationship. Let's say they're opposite sex. You know, your wife or your husband is not going to, may not be so happy about that. All right, so you have to know what not to do. And see, being married, you cannot do what you would do when you're single. You see, this is a trouble that is unique to marriage. It's not really a bad thing that you have to consult with your partner about different things. That's what you do when you have someone else to consider. It's not a bad thing, but it's a distraction, or it's something that you don't have to deal with if you're single. All right, logging onto a social media platform and typing in a name. If your social media usage interferes with your relationship, it may be time to stop and reassess what's important to you. And we see that social media is more important than a lot of people's marriages, to them, always looking for views, or they might make their money that way. And they just, they also can, enjoy the attention that they're receiving, the likes, so it can stroke their ego. And so they could get to a point where they put social media ahead of their marriage, where the social media and the attention that they're receiving from social media is enough where they can disregard their spouse, or say, well, I don't need them anymore. Not only can social media potentially encourage unhealthy relationships, but it can also be a distraction that prevents you from spending quality time together. If it's becoming a problem in your relationship, set guidelines for when you check your social media accounts. For example, maybe you and your spouse agree that you won't be on social media as you wind down together and get ready to turn in for the night. You see? So, marriage, good marriages. I'm not talking about being married to a troublesome woman. This video is not about that. This video is about good marriages and the trouble that comes with getting married. Just like the Bible says, individuals who get married will experience trouble in this life, but I seek to spare you. You see? So you can understand what is unique in relationships, what is unique to marriage relationships, and things that you must consider seriously when getting married. That's why marriage is a big step, because of all the things we listed here, that you're going to have to deal with. And a lot of people are not dealing successfully with these issues. People are checking out, and from a MGTOW perspective, men who have gone through these things and attempted to do what is written in here, they may still have a woman who begins to prioritize self-love, and she's just out of there. Like we see a few of these ladies on the internet, jumping around, they let go of their marriage, graduated from marriage, supposedly. And so you can't deal with that. If a person's just going to leave, then they will leave. And so some men who are married and going through a divorce, they've decided, I'm not ever doing this again, and I'm just going to not touch a woman anymore. Because even when you go out and have touch a woman, you still have potentially, you could have children. It's still a relationship. If you're having sex with someone, you're actually doing what consummates a marriage. So there's troubles that come with that. There's troubles that come with any relationship, but especially marriage. Especially marriage, because of the closeness and intimacy of that relationship. But it can be very, very rewarding. It can be very, very rewarding. If you implement all the positive things that are said in here, it will be very rewarding. But if these good points are resisted, then we already understand what we have today and what we see being played out. All right, I hope this was helpful to some guys, especially some men that are married, some, and then single guys who may be anticipating marriage, and then just MGTOW guys who, this may give some more understanding or balance, more of a balanced view of how to view marriage, rather than, being so disgusted with, let's say, the marital arrangement, or so disgusted with women. Okay. Again, I'm separating it from bad women, because some men I see, I believe they don't have a balanced view. You see, there are troubles that come with marriage, but more trouble comes if you have a troublesome woman. Okay. If you have a virtuous woman, like Proverbs chapter 31 describes, great woman, but you still will have, troubles in your marriage. Okay. But it could be very rewarding, a healthy relationship. All right. Be well. God bless.